I said I can't stop watching the use video.
Oh, hello. There we go. Friends, enemies, lovers, rivals. It's episode 88 of the Great Pendragon Campaign. We are finally back after my vacation. I believe Colin was on vacation as well. Jim has been doing nothing but working, toiling even.
Almost. I'll be having vacation soon. Last chapter tomorrow.
Oh, be well deserved.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So, if you're watching this on YouTube, or I guess you have to be watching this on YouTube right now because I'm streaming it on YouTube. But if you're watching this in the past, you didn't realize there was a time lapse in real life. But yeah, we haven't played for a couple weeks. But I think we all kind of vaguely remember what we did earlier this year. Players.
Tournament for K1.
Yes.
Gorthrin's fixing a well. His father-in-law is living with him.
I believe if we were looking at like the Netflix synopsis of the episode, I believe that's everything. Perfect. Cool. Yeah, so what we have prepared for you today, I have a couple scenes for us to do in the fall before then a Christmas feast for us in the winter.
Nice.
Because I got a special
double feast year.
Yeah, it'd be a brief one, but there's just a special event this year for it. So, all right. I thought it'd be fun to start off talking about our squires and having some stuff to do with our squires. So, Gorthrin,
Yes.
let's start with you. So we had a pretty amazing year. Caradig, your squire, is barreling down at the jousting tilt, right? You can imagine sort of like he's training, he's learning how to do it, right? In the background you can see a raven that was killed by an arrow. But he's just missed like for the third time in the row, right? And now he's really beginning to tilt in a literal way, right?
Yeah.
Bordering on failed passion kind of anger. Imagine him throwing his lance outside of the arena afterwards. You know what I mean? He's like, just being like, I'll never be good at this. I'll never be a round table knight, as he just like is, sulks, being a 13-year-old who's mad at himself.
Yeah.
But being older.
What is Gorthrin wants to give him a second because this Caradig of Ebel, he's like one of the sons of one of the Castellans, right?
Yeah. And so, he's mad because he's not being as good as his own expectations and his expectations of his, family and everything.
Sure. I'm curious how he handles it.
He's not well. He's breaking down right now.
Okay.
He
I didn't know if it was like a momentary thing or like he just like threw his lance. He
basically threw his lance. He threw his lance on horseback, basically like into the stands, right? And is beginning to like trot off and kind of like disarm his armor and stuff. And he's like, this is just stupid.
Okay, if he's about to take his armor off, then that
right.
That takes forever to get back on.
Yeah, right.
Gorthrin will like walk over there. He's not gonna rush or anything. And he's gonna sort of look at him. Is he muttering to himself, talking to himself? He's seething,
crying.
Quiet, like how is he angry? That's his other thing Gorthrin wants to be sure of. Like, is he about to have to fight this kid?
Right. No, he's not like blind with rage or anything like that, but he's definitely fuming. If anything, he's going to fight himself because he's like so mad, right?
Gotcha.
And he's just and he's like totally crying because he's like just got that angry tear going on as a kid.
Yeah. Gorthrin's going to let me see. I'm thinking how
bawling
Gorthrin wants to take it. Yeah. What is it that you think you did wrong there?
Tried to follow my father's footsteps and be a friggin' knight. Should have just been a steward. And he's throwing his stuff off.
You do not care for Knighthood?
No, of course I care. Just I don't know why I suck at it so much.
Because you're a boy. It's just kind of like the state of fact. He's not no judgment. It's just like, because you're 13. What else? What are you good at?
It's easy to say. You were slaying giants when you were 13.
I was not. My own knight had to save me on the battlefield that my father died on. And I was older than you when that happened.
His bawling turns to a sniffle as his ears kind of perk up. He's never heard this story before where you basically sucked an egg, right?
Yeah. Gorthron's going to tell him what his first battle was like when he was squiring for Sir Marjorie.
Yeah.
And how Sir Marjorie had to save his life. Otherwise, I would have died on the same field that my father died on. He's just going to.
Weren't you ashamed?
That's it with character. Ashamed? I was too scared for my own life to be ashamed. And afterwards, I was too angry. Too angry at the events of the day to be ashamed. It wasn't the first time either. He's going to sit down.
Yeah.
When I first rode with King Arthur, I was unhorsed twice by one of King Lot's knights, I suppose. I was so blind with rage that I smashed a man clean off his horse and broke the horse's back. We all fail, Caradig. Get back on the horse and try again.
Let's see how he receives this.
Yeah.
That would be a trait roll for you to train him on, probably something about being tenacious, right? What do you do?
Yeah.
Master Bruce, when we fall, we get back up kind of situation. So
yeah, it's the same kind of lesson they tried to impart on his own son.
Oh yeah,
around this age, which is just like, yeah, you're small. Okay, what are you going to do about that?
Right.
And it's the same with this guy. Like,
yeah.
Do I get the impression that he really does want to be a steward, and he's
no
like forced, or is
no?
it just
He
like,
wants to be a knight. He doesn't.
Gotcha.
But he has the.
He's 13.
Yeah, and it's not even that he's bad at it. Like he's a pretty good knight. You know what I mean? He just in his head thinks he has to be perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, at a meta-textual level, he wants to be Lancelot in his brain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he will not be.
This might be one of those things where like Gorthron's experience is just very different. Like Gorthron's like, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to knock the other person off their horse.
Yeah. Bro, I know, like Gorthron's like for your life, it's like, dude, you made it out of childhood. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
Right.
what do you know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't have the anarchy. What the hell? Like, gotta fucking wake up, dude. But yeah, no, it's a very much different way. So like, it's a little prissy, like a little prima donna-ish of like, he needs to be perfect, or just like, maybe he has really, I don't think he even has parents that are like demanding. It's just his own demanding level of right. He has to be,
Yeah. He's got to be. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways,
I think, I'm looking at traits. I'm
right?
trying to think what,
valor, maybe?
Perhaps valor,
which then
certainly in the courage to persevere. Like that's basically what Gorthron is saying, is like, don't, whatever you're feeling right now, like just push past it. Just keep doing it. Don't give in to this feeling.
All right, I'm gonna suggest one because it's a little bit of a curveball, but I think it makes sense. Trusting.
Ooh,
because you're relating to him.
Yeah, that'll be good, because that is a much more fraught die roll than my valor is.
So it's
I like trusting, though. I think it fits. He's asking Caradig to trust his experience, Gorthron's experience.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Survey says.
Ooh, so close.
No.
So close.
I think so. What this looks like is he gets on his horse, right, and like he's rallying to you, but then he misses it again, and he just is defeated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just totally.
Yeah. If he's not,
He just gets off his horse and just sits down.
I'll go find the.
The Keanu Reeves on a bench with the pigeons, just like.
Yeah, we'll let him have his space.
You know what I mean? Just very, very much. Yeah, and and you're like, okay.
It's time for the other guy.
Yeah, that's a lesson harder to learn. Yeah. Cool. Acewin.
Yes.
Colin, I got an interesting scene for you as well. To juxtapose here. Also, Morida's learning how to tilt properly, right? Different arena, not the same place. But as your lessons are being, are getting to him, you can't help but sense he's a little distracted. And I would love it if you could give me an intrigue roll to see if you can spot the object of where his mind is.
Intrigue. Yeah. Nope.
Okay. Perfect. Then this will just be even worse. Okay. Rather than you being able to pick up on it subtly and nudge Moria to some sort of instruction, instead it's going to be a little more intense. So here's what's going on. You're Squire.
Oh, Squire. Okay, I
Sorry.
was looking at my kids. I was like, none of my kids are named that.
Excuse me.
No,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, no. Moria to Tisbury, right? So what is the most embarrassing way that Moriad's crush on you could be revealed to you?
Jesus.
Because he has a crush on you. Is it like a diary? Is it like a, you know what I mean? Like, is it like a heart? Like, what is the thing? You know what I mean? And the failure of the intrigue roll is that rather than, being able to deal with it subtly, it is more direct, right? And more desperate.
Mm-hmm.
Like you run into him yelling at a page, being like, "You don't understand. I love her." Like, like as you enter the stable or something like that. That could something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rather than his secret reading his secret diary.
I like that. Like he
yeah,
15-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Like, I must defend my lady's honor, and is trying to duel the fucking horse boy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and so and that's what you catch him. Basically, it's a rake. It's a rake fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Acewin
the horses are freaking out, and so you run inside, like, what the hell? What in Lord's Hill is going on? And yeah,
stand up straight and tell me what's going on.
No, you're gonna have to run in there and break it up.
Oh, okay, yeah, not a problem. Just laying with a switch.
Yeah. I mean, how should we do this roll? What do you think is disrupting a fight? Battle? Like just getting in there and grabbing both of them? Or is it just literally strength of just pulling them apart? Or are you trying to command, or should we make a roll of you just commanding them to do it, right? What is the meaning of, you know what I mean? How do you get their attention? Because it's so much that you're they don't even realize that you're there. You know what I mean? They're.
And actually, I was looking at the traits. I don't think trait is the way to go. I think it is skill. Or no, just strength. Just literally holding them apart.
For sure. Perfect. Yep. So back of their collars, kind of, humorous kind of situation, right? No, but yeah, you're holding them apart. They've broken up to it. Both of them are like super red faced. Obviously they're in trouble.
Yep.
But what's worse is that Moriad's crush on you is revealed.
Yeah.
She's my queen and my lady, and I do nothing to protect her, right?
Yeah.
I will earn her favor, and it's...
Look at Aeson looks down at the hostler's apprentice and is like, I don't know your name. Keep it that way, and like let's go of him to like
zoom,
go.
like Doppler effect. Like you didn't know a human being could do that.
And then set Moriad down and be like, I don't want you to have to explain yourself, but you're going to have to explain yourself.
He immediately like drops down to like one knee.
No.
And like will not look at you, right?
Stand
my lady.
Up. No,
I was just merely defending your honor, my lady, and he doesn't stand up unless you like. I mean, you eat straight, so you're gonna raise him up, yeah.
You're defending my honor.
Yes.
No, you're not.
I don't understand.
I know you don't. That's why you tried.
Well, what? Then just tell me. Tell me what can I do?
You can grow up year by year, preferably.
Well, sure. I can do that. But Sir Aswin, my feelings are real. And like we'll like try to touch your hand, Of like
Nope.
Yeah.
Your feelings for me are irrelevant. You're 15.
So?
I've had wines older than you. They weren't very old.
He's getting the picture, but he hasn't been sold the complete picture yet. So you're saying one time older, there's a chance?
No. I'm saying there's no chance, and that you need to grow up because you're a child.
Morgan's been telling me stories about unrequited love, and you know what? That's what I'm going to do.
Oh, you're just going to unrequite your love?
Yes.
I think the worst part about this is that you're not necessarily embarrassed enough. This is you. I would like you to be embarrassed. That's how you would learn.
If my lady wishes me to be embarrassed, then I shall be red-faced.
I will. And Aeson gets
whatever you need to. He's just
and
puppying.
Like, I will discharge you from my service.
I think that wakes him up a little bit, right? Be like, well, I do not mean to offend. I
know you're 15. Look, love is not a game. Sometimes it is. Occasionally it's a game. Being a squire is not a game.
Of course.
Right, because you're learning how to kill. You're learning how to unhorse men and break their bodies.
If I have dissatisfied you in my squirely duties in any possible way, please tell me and I shall rectify it immediately.
I'm telling you right now, you're my squire and you're not in love with me. You're 15. Now, if you're going to learn something, it'll be one of two things. One, you'll learn the pain of unrequited love, which is a lesson that you can learn at any time and will several times through your life. The other is you learn how to be a good knight. You can only do one in my service. Choose.
He is weighing his options severely right now. And he looks at you and realizes and picks the thing that he's answering. He wants to be a good knight, but he's answering for the wrong reasons because that's what he knows that's what you want him to say. And so that he's going to do that. I want to be a good knight. I don't want to be clear about how he answers for that exact reason. Then I'll be a good knight. Basically accepting his friend zone status in his logic brain of a 15-year-old.
Close enough. Now muck out the pens because I just sent the horse boy off. Ace-Twin's gonna leave.
There will be spot. Like you hear him as you leave. You're like, it'll be spotless.
just immediately goes into the hall to tell her wife and partner about this, and just be like, just so you know,
as a situation.
A child is being a child, and it's going to be very annoying for all of us for a little bit.
Yeah. Medieval version of Hot for Teachers playing.
Yes.
Lovely. Cool. Well, I want to save some time in the fall if you all had any scenes that you wanted to do, or we can skip to winter. Any ideas of things you want to do? Touch base with anybody? Find out anything that's going on?
Yeah.
That is yes.
Sorry, I should have given you a heads up on that at the start of the session.
No
I'm trying to think of like when the last time that we checked in with like Kid Wall. There's like domestic stuff because there's some things that I would check in with Sveeder and Kid Walla about.
For sure.
I was gonna do a little Knights of the Born feast to check in with the vassals, see how they're doing.
Oh, lovely.
Just more feasts, more just year feasts.
Yeah.
Kid Walla's 13, so she's gone from was going to be married off to somebody to, well, now you're head of the household. And so Gorthrin has been wanting to make sure that she's taking that well. And that's, it's been a couple of years or something. And so that's what I'm like, would like to check in with Kid Walla about. And then there's some other stuff with Speederin we can get to.
Kid Walla is only 14 though, right?
Yeah, she's born in 5'11".
Yeah,
13, I think. Because it's like it's not going to be like within the next couple of years, but
she's also has idealistic notions for sure.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, idealism is running like romantic idealism is beginning to take on a contagion status across Logos. So the idea of being married, I mean, a lot of it honestly comes from Guinevere and the court, right? And the idea of of being properly married and wed to a proper knight, and the idea of a knight of the round table that's also not like dad, like trying to find and trying to figure out square that circle of why is because I don't want to marry my dad, but also my dad seems to be like the right person for all those things, and that just makes it weird. And so I need it's like she's very Christian, by the way, right? So she's like obviously praying to Blessed Mary, please help me find the most perfect husband, someone who would be valorous and will square down a giant and oh god, I'm describing my dad. Like
this is good because I mean, I'm thinking on both like a in-game and out-of-game level of like Kid Walla, I'll probably playing one day as maybe my last PC or hopefully, I don't know. But like, I liked the idea of someone who was like, there's no one good enough for this person.
Yeah.
Like both of my characters have gotten married fairly early. So on a metagame level, I'm looking for an excuse to have Kid Walla be like, nope, now's not my year. and I kind of like that. But Gorthrin, he's not as close to his kids as Erwin was, and so he's mostly just sort of, is she all right? She doing okay? Anything, that he needs to step in with. But if she seems like she's doing all right, then Gorthrin will feel like, all right, nothing doesn't need my attention.
Yeah, I mean, we can always assume that there's been times where you're being a good parent and you're touching base, just we're not showing it on this the 2 hours that we play. But no, there's no problems are materializing for other than just the continuing kind of obsession and idealism of the early like proto romance.
They're growing up in a very different time.
Yeah,
than Gorthrin did.
Yeah, right. Again, like heraldry is only like 5 years old, right? And they're like they're with it, they're being born and molded by it, right? It's their TikTok. So we are, you all are the old generation where you're like, yeah, I mean, I get it, but also like, I had to kill my neighbor,
right? Yeah.
So it's like I don't, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, cool, I get it. It's just a little different. It's just a different cut.
Yeah, absolutely. So the other thing I was curious about was to check in with Svidrin. A few years ago, something had come up regarding Gorthrin's bastards. And Svidrin was like, don't worry about it. I'll handle it. It was a while back. It might have been like 518, 519. But I was curious about that the other day.
Wow, you make me open my old Pendragon notes document.
Let's see if I can find it.
I have no memory of. That was 519 was when Guinevere and you walked through the rose gardens of Jolderton.
It might have been further back than that, actually. And mostly the reason I'm asking is that like
you wanted to. Oh wait. Can I try to like solve the puzzle?
Yeah.
I believe your bastards were already squared up to be squires, right? I think it was the two from the peasant girl, right?
Yeah.
And they were sent off to train. Looking at Logris. Whenever the map wants to load and not be blurry. I think they were sent to West Lavington.
Yeah, that's where Gorthrin sent them originally.
Yeah. So what were your intentions for them? Were they to become, did you want these peasant people to be raised as knights? Or did you want,
I would like,
or just make sure that they have money and they aren't really wanting for the rest of their lives?
That was initially the intention, that they would just be set up somewhere.
Yeah.
They ought to have something. Gorthrin, felt some responsibility to them.
Yeah, a little alimony.
But since Conehelm became a priest, the thing I was thinking of is like, well, I've got two other children who are a little bit older. Having them in the household as just people in the household, if that is, I'm just sort of thinking of people Gorthrin can trust, and that he would want closer to him, and like they were born in like 503, so that's maybe 21.
Right.
And so because Svidrin, I just remembered like, oh yeah, we had something that had come up a few years ago, but yeah.
All right. For sure. No, I like that idea a lot. And I like the idea that Gorthrin thinks that could work out. But I think that's an open dramatic question, because like,
yes, yeah.
Just because you're a biological father, you're not entitled to their respect.
Yeah,
right?
he hasn't been, the last influence he had over their life was, you have to move.
Yeah, exactly. You know okay, you remember that as well. Okay, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the idea that then you would come back and be like, "Hey, I'm the cool guy. Come stay with me. I be a knight, or at least be my man at arms or something like that." And it's like
he's gonna what he wants, I guess what I'm getting at is we figure out sort of where we're at is he would approach Svidar and be like, hey, there was that thing a few years ago regarding Iskern and Dudug.
Yeah.
You know, if she's basically like it's handled, Gorthrin, you know, we'll then consider like maybe he just sees what they're like. Goes by West Lavington to meet them. Like, is Marjorie still alive?
Yeah, Marjorie's still alive. Hold on. Dudug was your baseborn town crier.
Yeah, there's
a lot of
town crier, and then there's a lot of Dudugs and Pedrogs. If it's not something that we're ready to do right now, then we can save it for like next time, like over the winter.
It might be under the baby section. No, but I want again, the intentions though is to come to them and see if they want to.
Gorthrin's looking to fill his house with people he can trust. He's looking at his legacy, and these are his children.
Right.
You know, he does have some sense. He does feel some sense of responsibility to them. He still has a love of one for their for their mother, I believe.
Beautiful, perfect. I will see if I'm roll a 2d6 for the 2, and I'm going to say that on a 5 or a 6, they're amiable to you, or is very much that they are not interested in you at all.
Sure.
Okay. I think right now it's very much, they probably aren't even knights. They probably are stewards. They don't want your appraisal or approval. Or like they don't want your, it's almost like spiteful that they get it. They would it's not the same as a father's love.
Sure.
They kicked him out. So you got 2 stewards. They're technically, they technically are commoners belonging to a knight in your service, aka they're basically yours, right? It's not. Technically they're Marjorie's, but like it's not like Marjorie's going to say no to you. You know what I mean?
Right. It was it was like a favor.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. Yeah. I forget. Book of Entourage has a classification for like they've got all kinds of classifications, but I forget the name of it.
No, they're not like doing anything wrong in Marjorie's care. They're not, they're just keeping their head down and really don't want to deal with anything from you all, right?
Sure. I think the only thing Gorthrin would do, if he's just sort of, if it doesn't look like they want to have anything to do, he'll just say the offer still stands. That if you're looking,
I think this is an actual scene, man. And like, what if you like visit them? Right. And like you're visiting them and like, and you're like, hey, like, just so you know, I want to see how you're getting on and stuff like that. And and I think it's kind of like, he's like an apprentice in like the Smiths or, something like that.
Because they're adults now. So they're not, it's sort of like, well, now that you're an adult, we can talk. Right. Like it's less fraught.
And I think what I'm trying to put out by being like a Smith's apprentice, like he's like doing well, right? Or a journeyman is probably the better way than an apprentice, right? Yeah. Where it's like, I don't want anything to do with you.
Fair enough. You change your mind? The offer stands.
Would you like to buy something?
Well, what does he have? I'd buy something.
He's just horseshoes, nails.
Yeah,
your standard blacksmith fare.
Yeah, I'll have the horse reshoed.
Yeah, sure.
Might as well.
Yeah.
While we're having a talk, but Gorthrin,
I would love it. I would love it if the twins the farrier, so that would be perfect sense.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was hoping to set him up for. Even if Gorthrin never saw him again, where it's like at the very least you're not just like subsistence farmer.
Yeah. No, exactly. They're basically like upper middle class peasants, right? Yeah. Like they're not going to be hurting for money in their life.
Yeah, if it doesn't look,
paid
if
for
it
their
looks,
college, quote unquote.
Right. If it seems like they don't want to have anything to do with him, Gorthrin's going to keep his mouth shut, and all he's really going to say is, if you ever need work, if you ever need a place, work is a very, that's not how Gorthrin would put it, but if you ever need a house, You will always find a place in Till's head.
Right.
And then he'll have his horse shoot and be done, and then that'll be that.
And at the risk of being, what would be the term? Like improper, like literally improper. Like this could be a damaging to them. I think they would probably say to you that we'll never do that. Please let us live our life.
Northern will pay for the horseshoeing and then respect their wishes. He'll be sad about it.
For sure.
I think.
Yeah. They just want to get on.
That question's answered now.
Yeah, they just want. They sadly, yeah. They just, I think based on that, their disposition roll there, they want to get on. And on the 2, I was like on a 3 or a 4, I was like they could probably be persuaded or like pushed up or somewhere. But like a 1 or a 2, it's just like they feel strongly about it.
Yeah. I don't blame them.
Yeah,
all
exactly, right? It could go either way, and like that's as a GM, it's like you can literally go in. They're people, like I don't know.
Sure, yeah.
Like, how do you?
Yeah. I wouldn't expect him to be like, yeah, sure, Dad.
Yeah, exactly, right. Someone.
But the other thing is like now Gorthra knows like there is he knows not to pick at that or to make that worse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Very good. Very good.
I feel like when you get back to Suidra, it's like we didn't talk about it, but if you don't mind, I would love it if like Suidra was like, I tried to warn you that like they weren't really interested, but like if that's
empathy for myself.
Yeah, I know that's the man I married.
Yeah, and they'll bask in their domestic bliss for the time.
Oh yeah. Well. The Bliss is doing okay, only because Oswald's been feeling a little ill lately. He's been having a fever.
Hey, we got that new physician.
Yeah. So they're trying to balance the humors as best they can.
Yeah.
So let's do a quick, Colin, sorry for you not getting more of the limelight here today.
But, good.
Let's do the Born Feast. Now, can Gorthrin come to that as sort of like a Knight of the Born emeritus?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
lovely.
Still Knight of the Born, right?
Yeah, I mean, technically he swore his oath when he was in Jolton.
Still is.
There, technically, right? But
and especially now that the Knights of the Born is no longer a realpolitik kind of entity,
de facto coalition.
It's now a clubhouse essentially.
Yeah, it's a recognized. Okay. So should we do like a quick little like round of the feast? Is that how we want to do it, or is like do you just want to have like a conversation? I mean, I imagine we kind of love doing feasts and stuff, so we should just do a quick little. Right, it should be shuffled and all that, so ready to go. Oh, we have to do our appearance, I guess, and that stuff. Although I think like, for this kind of like impromptu kind of feast, maybe we don't have to do where we are in the salt if you don't want to.
Yeah.
We can just draw a damn card because that's what we want to do,
and especially because I'm hosting, I would be the one setting the tables, right? Like I'm choosing where people are seated anyway.
God, you're Marshal of Salisbury, the head of the Born Supremacy. A lot of stuff. All them titles.
I got 3 host cards. Just like, my computer catches up.
Yeah.
You know what?
Colin. yeah, I'm sorry, buddy. You struck out. 4 cards strikeout. Oh, man. Those are all more food, more drink, overindulgence.
Oh, this time is to fantastic.
Share. Yeah. Well, I mean, time to share. I mean, more drink is obviously more fun, but time to share also seems kind of like a good host kind of thing to do. But I totally get where you're going.
Yeah, more drink.
Yeah. All right. Let's You're kind of the host of the feast, so I think you get to decide the order of operations here of who goes. I think and rather than glory. Is that okay?
That's fine. My computer's not cooperating anyway.
Awesome.
More drink.
All right, more drink it is.
I want Gorthrin to be just a little loose for his card.
Right.
Speaking of wine, I cannot believe he's just started out with the I've drank wines older than you.
That's great. So we're rolling temperate versus indulgent.
No, just indulgent.
Just indulgent.
And then I have to look at the damn feasts.
Fail to be indulgent.
No, I think that's good. That's good. It means you're not drunk.
Not schwasty.
Yeah.
No modifiers when you fail indulgence.
For some reason, the Z is not working on my Zoom.
That's still working for me. I don't know.
Does this occasionally.
Right.
All right.
Awesome.
So none of us are too drunk, but everything's.
Well, hold on. We didn't add modifiers for what we're drinking.
What are we drinking?
If it's mead, I think I succeeded. Actually, yeah, it doesn't matter what we're drinking. I succeed on indulgent regardless. But I would definitely be serving wine. So that's +5.
Fair enough. +5 is not enough to get you drunk, Gorthrin.
Get Gorthrin drunk. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not able to zoom in on what I got, but
maybe would you like?
I'll just.
Would you
I'm
want
just
to
going to zoom in really
Yeah.
close on the map
Okay. God.
from where I usually have
Yeah.
it.
Good luck then. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Okay.
Sorry, I have to zoom everything out to fit. Oh my God, I don't even have
Yeah,
the
usually
damn-
I'm way out. All right,
open.
so I've got host calls for a toast, host calls for a song, and then regale host. So, and then regale host has the chance of there being a duel, I think, or something. I'm not sure what or no, it's keep this card. Sorry, not the gauntlet. I always think is a duel, not a keeper.
Sad.
A fumble
Alright.
of regaling the host means you may not play any host card for the remainder of the feast. It's almost like a benefit.
Yeah. All right, I think
It's
4-8. Yeah,
it's,
I need to
it's,
regale
it's
those.
tactically peeing your pants at a
Yeah.
feast one time, so
Yeah.
no one ever talks to the pants peer.
Yeah. I think Aceman is like, Gorthrin, tell me a story that I haven't heard yet. I've heard all your stories. Come up with something new.
Yeah.
Everybody's asking for your stories lately.
New story. What's he got? Oh,
my
there's the
God.
fumble.
Holy shit, you actually did it.
Let's see.
The madman. The
Yeah.
absolute madman.
What does he do? Okay. All right.
All right, again, regaling the host is the host shows displeasure at your poor story. You may not play any host cards for the remainder of the feast.
I think Gorthard makes a bad joke about Acewind Squire.
Oh, yes.
I think Gorthard's like, I'll tell you a story about a squire I know, and you know, everybody's drinking. You know, Acewind looks like she's having a good time. This will go over well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Morian's like, yeah, Morian.
Yeah, you're like, this is good wine. This is how old is this wine?
Yeah.
15.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Too soon.
How did we make that dramatically come full circle? That's incredible. Good work.
Yeah, we're
Good stuff.
you know how people are like, there's no way to be bad at RPGs if you're having fun.
Yeah.
Untrue. We are good at RPGs. Most other people are bad at them, and we are good at them. That's how.
Okay. Yeah, we're just made of better stuff, I guess. Yeah. Reincorporation.
What's up?
Well, Acewood, anything to add to how you are showing your displeasure to Gorthrin? We now know how Gorthrin has embarrassed us. How do you respond?
Oh, just drunkenly talking over him anytime he tries to talk.
Perfect. Beautiful. Okay. So it's gonna be like so again, it was gonna be a short, like one-rounded kind of scene. In terms of the news of the Born and stuff like that, everyone's been getting into the Orchard game after seeing you guys talk about it.
Yeah, those pears.
Yeah. So everyone's like, oh yeah, it's like that's going. So really, it's just a lot of fruit talk. It's not super fun. It's actually everyone's like, oh yeah, I got my like they're literally just, I got
my orchard is getting built this year, I think. Right.
Yeah, exactly. So
after this year, that orchard generates 3 Libra a year.
And you can also, like, as a general rule, you can kind of expect that you guys are all locally trendsetters.
Yeah, small business tyrants.
What the Marshal of Salisbury does is what other people are going to do. And so the next thing you see is like, oh yeah, well, right.
Nice.
So good luck. There are other people they would look at, but in general, you are definitely considered one of the top 3. The Earl, being another, possibly the Seneschal, or like a rotating, or even Arthur would kind of be like a third, But in general, like, yeah, being round table knights, have that, all that stuff. Anyways, cool. Let's stay on this page because we do have to do a quick little Christmas feast.
In Sarum or Camelot?
This will be in Camelot.
Oh yeah. The next day, Gorthrin's like, I'm very sorry about what I said.
Yeah.
You remember, or do you too hungover?
Yeah. Yeah. Aceman, do you remember the embarrassment, or are you hungover?
I
feel like it's unforgettable.
I think the drunk goggles are rose tinted. So like she remembers some gentle ribbing and joking, but in her mind, the like embarrassment from Gorthrin wasn't as much, and her response was definitely measured and in good cheer, and not like being a dick and talking over all the time. Yeah,
she didn't kick him out.
Perfect.
Nice. All right.
Cool.
There is one more thing, and I was hoping we can deal with it like on the road to Sarum if we want.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
So Hrodgar last time had expressed a desire for just more responsibility, more chance to make a name for himself, and Gorthrin had suggested like talk to the Earl, see if there's like a place for him, and like Gorthrin would like to follow up on that if the Earl is traveling to Camelot to be part of the Earl's traveling entourage.
Gorthrin, I'm swamped. I got no open stuff. I mean, we could kick out a couple kids,
No. I don't want to make any waves.
Yeah,
just
sorry.
If there was something.
Hope for a war? Like he doesn't have him distinguish himself on the field.
Yeah, to be honest, I hope we have a war soon as well. I'm getting quite bored. Yeah. But Gorthrin only complains to his superiors.
Yeah, unfortunately, at this time, since everyone's having kids, at this point, everything's pretty much locked in right now.
Yeah. Well,
even like I even have an assistant seneschal, man. Like I cannot do anymore.
Right. Yeah. Hrodgar's on his own then,
for the time being. Cool. So let's just do a quick little round of again. But this time I would like to do some appearance stuff for Camelot.
Yeah. It's more.
So this is like the first snows are already coming down, and
All right. Let's see. First things first. Where's your fashion? Nuts. All right, no benefit there. Appearance.
near the salt. Fourth ring.
Close. Close.
Near the salt for Ace Win. Cool. All right, we'll do a round of cards, and then I'll do the cutscene.
It's
only. Anyone else see that? It says I have 4 cards, but if you look into my hand, I have 3. It's weird.
I see 4.
You see 4?
Yep.
I see 4.
I see the back. We can only see the back of them, but we see 4 cards in your hand.
Okay. Fascinating.
Roll 20. Who knows?
There's some of these I haven't seen yet. Queasy. You feel queasy, very queasy. Roll con. Miss a feast or to have to depart.
Oh, hold on. I just got a card we haven't gotten before, and I think it actually preempts your cards.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Glory Hound. So I have to discard all my other stuff. I may look at each other player's cards before any cards are played this round. Choose one card from among theirs. You may play that card as if you had drawn it yourself. If you do, -1 geniality and check reckless.
Wow.
Yeah.
We got 4. How do I show you my cards, or I just
They're already
tell
on the
you?
table, aren't they?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. God,
So
this
just
is
before
this is
anything.
my brain catching up with reality. Yeah. I was gonna play. I liked Angry Dogs just because I like the story of it, given how much Gorthard loves dogs. But Alms is pretty sweet and fits as well. I was thinking.
I think I'm gonna steal
You think you're
alms
gonna
from
play that
you.
one?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
solid.
I think
that's
I'm
fair.
stealing alms.
Beautiful.
All right, go for it.
Cool. So you still go first, as it were,
Mhm.
but it
I just
means
don't have that one. I just don't have that juicy 2 geniality.
Yeah.
There we go. Let's see. Courtesy or folklore? All right. I think I will go with Angry Dogs. So the host's dogs bark whenever you come near, courtesy or folklore. And courtesy is a much better skill for going through. Like,
I love this idea,
dogs
like
love
you
me.
were angling to talk to this abbot, right?
Yep. Mhm.
And
The
like
dogs start barking.
dogs start barking and the Aceman just slides in.
Yeah. Gorthman's like, yeah, I'd like to have a new beneficence to the endowment until no such luck for his soul. All right. Here we go. There we go.
Hey.
Courtesy wins.
Look at that.
All
Look
right.
at that. I'll
No
stop
failure.
eating so much blood pudding.
Oh, speaking of which, yeah. What is the food?
Get the
Codtails.
codtails. Love it. Artichoke stuffed with blueberry rice. We've talked about that before, and that one sounds good.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know how you kept
Kinses
blueberries
stewed in what? What are kinses?
Little tiny citrus fruits.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yep.
Pretty sure.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like a kumquat.
Yeah, kind of like a
Right.
kumquat. Yeah.
I just like the idea of blueberry rice.
Yeah. Dogs don't like the smell of my dogs. That's fine. We'll leave Castor and Brutus in the stables.
Yeah.
They don't need to be in the feast hall.
So I check reckless for being a glory hound. I lose a geniality for stealing the card, but I have the chance to donate buku bucks, and everyone will be like, "Oh, Acewin's a cool dude."
Do Dark Ritual for 3 mana.
All
Spend
right,
2
so
Libra.
that's a success. I must give at least one for each half Libra donated, gain 5 glory. What is the cap on this that you want? Because I have money and I'm willing to throw it down.
Yeah, I think the maximum would be. Is a 1-to-1?
5 glory per half Libra, so 1 Libra is 10.
1 to 10. Yeah. So let's go with 10.
Done.
Yeah. Obviously they're asking for like a Libram, you know. Oh,
Mhm.
you know, we like to give, you know, it's like for you know, some like an orphan kind of fun, I guess.
Mhm.
Orphans are an easy group to pick up, right? You know, how do you
Yeah.
just, you know, in the winter we feed and how's the most unfortunate among us, and if you could just spare a
Well,
single Libram, it would
You
be
shall have a Libram, but I will impress on you. I have 9 other Libra which are homeless, destitute, and need to take shelter with you as well.
But he just begins to stammer as goes beyond expectations.
What's that?
Like Scrooge at the end of Christmas Carol.
Yeah. I think Ace was like playing it up for like everyone around, just be like, yeah, no, see, I'm jealous and really jealous.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't even know the saint for orphans. Mark,
Like
probably like Mark, Peter, Jerome, Philip B.
Seems imminently Googleable. St. Jerome.
Is Jerome?
Yeah, Jerome. Well, one of the Jeromes.
One of the
There's
Jeromes.
St. Jerome Emiliani.
Yeah, that's why.
Emiliani.
Right. That's pretty good.
Gerolomo.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. Yep. So, you know, thank you, Christ. Thank you, Saint Jerome. You know, like oh, heaven, you know, blessed be the bond, blah, 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 you know, blah, 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 blah. You know, et cetera, ecclesiastical praising. In brackets. Awesome. Okay. Cutscene time. The doors swing open, and the squire, the Knight of the Lake, returns, triumphant in like dazzling, like, you know, as far as knights go, like not even a single bit of snow has like touched him. You know, he's coming in perfectly dry. You know, there's not even a wind, but his cape is just immaculately, you know, blustering. And Arthur rises to meet the Knight of the Lake. Ah, the Squire of the Lake, you have returned. And if you were tall, in this very feast, you know, at this very round table, you know, during Pentecost, you promised that you would prove yourself. So, would you mind telling us what you have done? And he kneels and says, well, I have saved many a damsel from a bandit, but most importantly, during my travels, I have came upon a warlock in a tower in Rydachin. Nearby was a great cave. And well, I took the life of this warlock. And as I did, the tower crumbled. But it wasn't so much the tower crumbling that surprised me the most, my lord. For as much as my deeds have honored me, I think the greatest value I could ever have received, I got in those ruins. In the foundation stones of that tower. I found a treasure my heart greatly desired. Arthur's like, and what was it? My name. Lancelot de Locke. Dun dun dun.
Lance. The real
Lancelot.
Lancelots were the friends we made along the way.
Yeah. Well,
Hey,
arise,
but
Lancelot, and he knights him on the spot.
Arise, Lancelot. Fuck my wife.
Yeah.
That's the cave that we returned the unicorn's headpiece to, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like the magic cave to me.
Yeah. Yeah, that tower's been there a long time.
Yep. Not anymore though.
3 cheers for Lancelot.
Huzzah!
Huzzah! Yeah, lovely. Yeah, the whole round table is super happy for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Notably missing
know
from.
that cave.
By the way, notably missing from this feast would be the Orkneys, of course. Gawain's out. And,
Yeah.
Sorry.
Buddy duddies.
They know.
Yeah.
They're saving Gawain from a bender.
Yeah, no, let's see if we can get Lancelot to come over and tell us all about it. I know that cave you speak of. That kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and he does, and it's the same kind of cave situation. He tells you that there was the tower with no door, but when I came up to it, I called out, and I was, submitted to a great sleep. And as I woke up, I found myself on top of the tower, near the, in front of me is this old wizened man, bald and scarred, and he turned into a devil, and I stabbed him in the heart, and just like this incredible, basically the retelling of the fight scene from the Guy Ritchie Excalibur movie, basically. That's just what Lancelot's doing. And you're like, what the hell?
What's his name? The warlock's name.
I do not know. But he looks down and he shows you a ring and says, the Lady of the Lake gave me this ring, and I believe it is what saved my life. It is what broke that sleeping enchantment and gave me the edge I needed in the fight. Just as the Lady of the Lake said it would. He has a ring of anti-magic. Or dispel magic. Yeah. So that works without him being conscious. But yeah, so he basically also has magic stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But most importantly, he's not just sharing the story with you all, and he's a lot of people want to have conversations with him. So this story gets interrupted 17 times, right? As he has to go smile, with people, and everyone makes their introductions. But really, the worst part is that Lancelot just comes off as a great guy to y'all. He's like, man, I'm so sorry to keep doing this. Honestly, hanging out with you two is really what I wanted to do this whole time. So I'm super excited that you let me hang out, come over and sit by your table. Their story of you slaying that giant and everything was just, that's incredible stuff. It's awesome. And then it looks over to Ace when you lanced against Gawain.
I did. That's
equivalent to slaying a giant and telling out to me. I may be young here, but I'm sure you've drank wines older than me. That's incredible. I have so much to learn from you all. I would love it if you could just mentor me here and there.
Have you met the Queen?
Looping arm around the shoulder.
Yeah. As if you met the Queen, he's like, indeed, I I will one day summon the courage to talk to her when I believe I have made myself worth joining her esteemed ranks of the the Order of the Lady, which
Well,
it's
if you want
Gorthron's
to
still a
talk
part
about
of that, even though he's kind of aged out in his round table night.
yeah. For Lancelot's not a round table knight; he's just a regular.
I was asking
knight.
for Gorthron. Was Gorthron still part of that now that he's sort of aged up and a round table knight as well?
You're a round table knight, and you're also like one of the queen's guards, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the honor guard of the queen. So like specifically, he really is happy to talk to you and stuff because it's basically like he thinks you're the in to the queen that he thinks is the right way of doing this. But
yeah,
also,
I'll put in a good word for him.
But Ace, when you were saying something.
Oh, I was just gonna like loop an arm around their shoulders and be like, Lancelot, you stick with Gorthron, you will learn how to love the queen better than anyone in court. Parring, except perhaps King Arthur himself.
Yeah.
Using his
That's that's a knee slapper, Aceman.
Yeah, thank you.
And Gorthron will like we don't have to play it out necessarily, but Gorthron will recommend Lancelot, this up and coming. Look at him, just clean cut, just everything you could want out of a knight, and a magic ring too. Come on,
yeah,
it's beautiful. Perfect. All right. And then time passes. Moriad comes back to you, Iswin, in the winter, bearing a letter.
Oh.
He raps on your door. Aeswin, this is Moriad. May I come in? I have a letter for you.
From who?
Oh, that's the funny thing. May I come in?
Oh God. Yes.
And he brings in a letter. It's not there's no like address or or anything seal to it that it's just like a normal, like not a stamped seal. That's what I'm trying to say. Not that you can make a heraldry test or whatever. It's just a generic one sealed. And he says, I don't know how I got this, but it was waiting for me in my chambers. And
Aeson's gonna like breathe a sigh of relief. It's like, thank God. I thought this was going to be some love poem or something.
But something about it told me that I'm supposed to give it to you.
All right, let's crack it open.
It's not a long letter. In fact, it doesn't even have any sort of greetings or salutations. It is just a very, very brief list of chess moves. The moves recreating your chess game with UFO. But there's an additional move at the bottom. Rook checks king.
Aeson's gonna go to the chessboard and like recreate this and hyper focus on that last move.
Yeah. But there's no like way to return or message or anything like that, but yeah. What could it mean?
Aeson's gonna get to work trying to find a response move that just tuck that away in the back of her mind.
Yeah. All right. And Gorthron, while you are dealing with the closing up the drama about your daughter, about the well problem and stuff like that, and getting that new one fixed up, your father-in-law takes a turn for the worse, and he will pass away. I mean, Oswald's a pretty old guy.
Yeah.
But it was just went quietly in the night. Sweeterin is doing okay, given the news. But obviously, letters need to be written down and things need to go on. But the thing that is on her mind a lot is she knows that his wishes were to be cremated like his father, that kind of goes against her and the Christian rites. Do you want to weigh in on this, or do you think this is something for their, you know?
I mean, like she's got a lot of brothers,
Yeah,
as well. I think really Gorthron will.
his brothers would. Sorry to get more context. His brothers will almost assuredly wish that they be cremated by like your Saxon pyre ritual kind of stuff, right? Despite them being Christian, it's still like, look, man, my death, my rules, okay? And like this is the way my dad went out. That's the way I'm doing it. Sorry, Jesus, like you can just figure it out, okay? And that's ultimately how they are doing it, and that's why their brothers would absolutely do it. Sweeterin, being way more Catholic than the rest, or Christian than the rest of her family, to several degrees, is like, well, you know, maybe we should actually bury him. It would mean a lot to me if we buried him instead. Do you want to weigh in, or is this something you don't want to touch at all?
I mean, Gorthron will support Sveeder, and you know the thing to do would be to bury him. I think we should, you know, state that to to your brothers, but really, to me, like I'm thinking just out of game, like Gorthron, I would see it that Gorthron wouldn't have a lot of like authority to stand on to press some kind of claim other than like, well, I've got his body, come and take it. And that's not the kind of beef he wants to start. It's like, we should bring your father back to your brothers and let our wishes be known and see what they say.
Yeah. And kind of have a family moot.
Yeah. Now is not the time to be, to start like deep family feuds and divisions and the like.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. All right. That'd be square for me. We can resolve that in a little bit.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that like he was a minor baron for the king? Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's a question of for Godric of like how to handle things, and
right.
In addition,
he was in exile when he died as well. I bet there's a lot of just needing to spend some time in Wessex.
Yeah. So pretty actually, let's set the scene with a Sweeterin stewardship role of basically handling the affairs of Godwin.
Yeah,
I'm letting Sweeterin do it because I said Godwin because of Oswald, because Oswald was staying with you, so like ostensibly some of that information is there for it. Yeah, cool, perfect. Okay, so there's not like he's outstandingly owes anything, or it's not like his things are in arrears, or his farms are doing okay and stuff, despite his absence.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's going to be the question of the inheritance.
I bet.
Right.
No rest for the weary. All right.
Yep. So it'll probably go to okay. So Sweeterin is the. So okay. So Sweeterin is the oldest. So it would kind of go to Sweeterin. And then kind of like you as well. So you're kind of getting inadvertently promoted through it. But you do know that their brothers are going to absolutely be mad about this, being like, why? How is this man who married my daughter, or married my sister, who doesn't really live here, get to do, like, that's not going to work out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the issue. That's the engagement situation that you're kind of coming into, in addition to your father's wishes of how to be buried.
Yeah, the inheritance, like who gets those manors and the titles and everything. I'm sure that'll be fun.
So just so you know, there's another fight to be had as we get into the wishes.
Right. We already had beef from something else too.
Yeah.
All right. Good.
Do you have their family names? Do you have the brothers?
Yeah, and I don't have any of her
Okay.
her family things.
All right. I'll put them in chat for you. It's Osmer and Godhelm. Both of them are, in terms of like known qualities or traits of them, both of them are valorous. Osmer is more arbitrary, while Godhelm is also merciful.
I mean, ideally, just sort of thinking out loud, they can live on the estates, take care of them. They could easily be like, be vassals. Whether or not they'll accept that, or Godwin will accept it, there's got to be an arrangement we can come to.
I mean, it would go to Osmer, who would probably be the next oldest if you wanted to do it that way. Like, there has to be a de facto. They can't like code rule it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In terms, because like this guy, basically, you would have the title. Then, are you going to report to the Earl, or are you going to report to Godwin? You know.
That's that is the feudal situation. He reports to both, and
Yeah.
King Arthur.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The if he held baronial title from Wessex, that would be the higher title that he has.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
it's, would you be prepared to move house again, or do you want to come up with a way to not take that?
Let me think about it.
Yeah.
It's an interesting choice.
Yeah, because it's a way to get promoted, but in a way that you didn't expect. And you'll be kind of a stranger in a strange land.
Yeah. Give it some thought. I'll let you know.
Sure.
What I'm thinking. But
yeah. All right. Well, we can think it over. We can do winter phase while it's happening. All right.
Yeah.
Winter phase experience rolls.
Roll.
Experience. Here we go. My energetic goes up.
Nice.
Spiritual goes up.
He's getting more introspective.
Oh, temperate goes up. I think she definitely learned a little bit about not being a dick when you get drunk.
Was that a past courtesy?
Past courtesy.
Nice. You are known. Hold on. So this is the year you get known for courtesy?
Yeah, he's got 16 courtesy. Yep.
Amazing. Nice. That's it. That's actually all my checks.
Good year for skills.
It is, yeah.
Oh, and I get that because I have that. There's that endowment I have at Till's Head that gives me a free religion check. So Gord's, I guess, in his spare time is reading like hagiographies.
As you do.
You know, like, what else is there to read around here?
Yeah. Or just, oh my god, all the paintings that come by and people explaining them to you. Yeah, like who's that guy?
Just he picks up on it.
Who's that guy? Oh, that's the cardinal of so and so. Yeah, I was like, oh, yeah. Okay.
All saints.
Yeah,
all right.
Apparently,
Aging.
Oh yeah. Easy.
Yep. 8.
8-0.
6 through 8 is
0
0.
attributes affected.
6.
0.
Hell yeah.
6, 7, and 8 is 0 stats.
It's very Italian hands.
Yeah. Still nerve-wracking. All right. Other rolls. I don't know that I have anyone else that I make survival rolls for now. Oh. Everybody still alive?
I think we're getting close to. Yeah. Gordon is still not very old, so he's safe.
Incredible.
Yeah. Yanto.
Literally one of the oldest surviving.
Let's just check. Yep, still Ed Downey is still a big fucking shit heel. I think that's it for my survival rolls.
Yeah. I remember we discussed it last session, how like so few people remember Uther directly.
Yep. In my household, I think Gorn is literally the only person at this point who has memories of Uther, because he was a steward for
He's
Gareth.
He's like classically trained. Like oh,
well, I guess Morgan
he still
as
does
well.
it the old way. You know what I mean? There's like new modern gap principles and stuff, and he's just like still doing his Utherian way, and it just works. And no one else understands it. That's why he has like a 20.
Yeah.
It's just like he like wrote the book. It's like the last guy knowing COBOL programming language. You know, like he's just like there's just the only one there.
Yeah.
Is Lady Grade still alive?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So one of the few.
One of the few. All right.
Morgan the Bard. He's still
Morgan
kicking
the
around
Bard.
in our.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I should probably do survival checks for him, though I've not been convinced he wasn't an elf.
No.
So.
I will say that he has not Morgan has not aged very much.
Son of a bitch, he is an elf.
I don't know. I mean, how would you know?
Yeah.
Still can't grow a beard. 20 years later.
Still can't grow a beard. I remember him like dancing on the roof with there was an elk nearby. That was weird. And Gareth was just like, I don't want to know about this. So I'm not going to
go to London and then come back with all this information.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, I definitely should have been slightly more curious about this character.
He's off to London.
He came back with a hat with Big Ben on it. I didn't question it.
Yeah. They knew all about unicorn headpieces in London.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Perfect. Awesome. So yeah, I will be pleased to say that the calls for war, you all will get it next year. So you know. Don't like expect to do a super big battle or something next year, but like next year is the we're in the conquest period. It's like the actual start of the part of the conquest period that everyone knows.
Or the one that every year goes, this is it. This is the year.
Yeah, for the last 5 years. Yeah, pretty much since Baden.
That's like what my father, when we're playing chess, will always make a chess move and say mate in 10, because it's eventually going to be true.
Yeah, love it. We have economic circumstances.
Yeah, that's right. I get to open the big sheet. Zoom in. You zoom. Thank you. All right. It is a 16 base weather to. Oh, we gotta do justice definitions. Starting with justice. Justice. Gorthrin's justice event. Basic peddler and a widow about a cat and an illicit love affair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, old peddler had an illicit love affair with grandma, and the cat is being called as witness.
Yep.
Well, number one, cats are reliable witnesses because they can see in the dark.
That's honest. That's honestly. That's the event's attorneys. Oh my god. The prosecution, Your Honor, would like to call upon Mr. Wiggums to the stance. Mr. Wiggums, state your name and age. Meow.
Expert witness in corners and staring at them.
It's caught three mice just the other day and can see in the dark. Therefore,
exactly.
Yeah. You also fail.
He also failed. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Wait, I don't trust this cat. What did he say?
Cat
fun times.
Cat, you're being a hostile witness. Doesn't want to stay in the stand.
Right.
Just wants to sit in a box nearby.
Is it an orange cat? I had an orange cat that died when I was a child. Get this one out of here.
God. So we are in. This fails increase hatred of landlord by 1. Now your test concern to commoners.
And I was already spending to reduce by 1.
Well, it offsets the
it. Yeah.
The incursion. But you still got to roll concern. And that determines the misfortune modifier.
Yeah.
Cool. As long as you don't fumble, it's fine. All right. Sweeterun's got to beat you're rolling against a misfortune of 18. 11. All right.
Nice.
So that's a pass and a pass. So it's technically a tie. Oops, I rolled the wrong one. Pass, tie. Clear these out. Which I believe your starting life was rich.
So the success, but lower is a meager misfortune.
Right. The lifestyle matrix gives you a poor result. But then you probably want to live richly, and so you just spend the money to do it. Yeah. All right. Gun it. Let's do gun it. Same thing. Starting at a base of 16.
I got to do a justice event, don't I?
Yes. You're getting modified by a -1. But then we do the justice event. So my justice event for you is a peddler and an unconvincing tradesman.
It's the same cat. It's the same peddler.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's the same one.
I bought a cow.
All right, but that's a success.
A heretical cow mother.
Oh, they're coming out. They're
This
like,
cow thinks Jesus is only a man, not a god.
right. Yep. All these magic cows
They're-
springing up over Salisbury now.
Now there's
Mhm.
there's a minor outbreak of no, God's Jesus is God. He's divine. No, he's a man. Oh, he's both. And the priest's like, he's both. Go and stop. Further, let's be very clear.
The cow's like, we should
This
print the
100 years
Bible
ago.
in Vulgate.
we did this 100 years ago, and the cows just
Cow's like, don't sell indulgences.
Yeah.
We should kill this cow. This is
Yeah.
not a good cow.
Technically, the original St. Peter's has not fallen yet. It has not collapsed. It is ramshackle and terrible because it was built with zero architectural merit. It's just people just built a giant church with no regard to whatever. But yeah, that is the
In Rome?
yeah.
It's
I mean,
meant to be trashed.
St. Peter's Basilica is the replacement to this one. It's not like they
Yeah.
just kept building the house. It's just that the original house
Yeah.
literally collapsed, and that's why they spent all the money on building the new arena.
Yeah,
The
I don't know
God
where-
Arena.
I forget when the Gothic War starts, but there's a good 30 years where you're just gonna
Yeah.
tear Rome to the ground once every 5 years.
Yeah.
Just all the aqueducts, all the walls.
If God, if indulgences, there probably wouldn't have been a need for indulgences if they would have just got a good architect the first go around.
Should have the Masons.
Yep. Yeah. The proof of the Freemason conspiracy. Back then, they were the paid Masons. All right. I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay, so I got just.
yeah.
Does that raise my? No.
No, that reduces
hatred.
hate. Yeah, reduces hate, and then you roll your concern.
Okay, which is great. I now have, it looks like, hatred of 6, love of 5, plus graveyard bonus scales with misfortune.
Yeah. Your misfortune isn't high enough to give you anything.
Okay, no graveyard bonus. So in total, my concern goes from a 12 to an 11.
Yeah, because you're going to go back to the manor. Yeah, you're at a 15.
Nuts.
Ah, okay. Well, a fail's okay because it's still 0. So your final weather total is a 15. So you're rolling against 15. Fail.
Success.
Oh yeah. I believe that is a living richly. I presume you want to continue to live richly.
Yes.
So that doesn't cost anything to your lifestyle. All right. Now we're into the fun rolls. Spouse industry. For both of you.
Yep, I'll wean us back to her old habits.
Oops, Tails had 0. Improvement expenses. Oh, you had to roll. One of you, not one of you. I remember. Colin, you have to roll for your orchard.
Yes. What am I rolling? Just a
D20. Just make sure
D20.
you don't get a 19 or a 20.
All right,
You're
we're
fine.
good.
All right, it's completed successfully. I think you have to roll for your income for the apiaries.
No profit.
Okay. Is that profit?
Yeah, just use
Okay.
the D4. It's D2.
Okay.
Yep.
Makes sense to me. 11 extra 2. 11 2. You ace win. Oh, you minus 10 for the almsgiving. Well, that's awesome. You started the year with 121. You end with 124. That includes.
Going to also do conspicuous spending
Okay.
So that's another 10.
All right. Yep. So 114 final. Till said. I don't know if you're doing additional expenses this year or not, but you're currently sitting at 338.
Yeah, I'm going to spend another 10 on improvements to Till's head, and as part of his 5-year plan to
knock down that hatred.
Yeah, not just that, but just spread the wealth. This year it's about sanitation.
Mm.
Dig a new latrine pit.
Perfect. Okay. Then that settles out. Final treasury. That already factored in the expenses there. Perfect. 328 final.
Yeah.
Easy. God. Cool. So then we got some stuff to think about, right? What we're gonna do with Wessex.
Rolls.
Oh yeah, we gotta do your horses. Sorry, I forgot. There's like we're only
all
like
the horses.
a quarter way through winter phase.
Horses are all just fine.
Mine have any penalties? They are all good.
Perfect.
All of my horses are so young too.
I've got a lot of most of my stable are foals right now.
Yeah,
but I'll have two more Andalusian Chargers next year.
nice. Right now, my stable is the King's Gift, Gorthrin's Gift, and both of those horses' sons are also in my stable.
Hey, looks like I got two notable horses born this year.
Oh my god. Yep. Gwern's 21 stewardship just went to 22.
Unbelievable.
This guy's gonna die at his desk.
sure is.
This.
Oh yeah.
They are can't stop, won't stop.
I mean, there's been plenty of times when he's like, yeah, this is my Andalusian, like this abacus. This is my war horse. The scrivener's desk.
Oh, sweet.
This pen is a lance,
So my two that I rolled 6s on for the horse, for the foals, one of them's a Charger, and the other is one of the
specials.
What have I been calling the Elf Blood Courser?
Oh, it's the Elf Blood. Oh God, I have to open up my horse rules. Because I believe we're in Punnett Square territory.
Yeah.
D4 on a 2+, the traits are passed on.
Just for both of them? Or
Yeah.
just
So was it bred with a special horse, or was it special and plain? Was it special or special plain?
Oh,
Gorthrid is trying to breed the best horses, so he would selectively match them up with the best.
So so two special horses bred together, then you get it. You just get the trait then.
Gotcha. Let me see. I can for the Andalusian. I can't yet for the Elf Blood. So I just have to roll for the Elf Blood.
No, wait. No, I looked at the rolls. Yeah, you got to roll for the Elf Blood. Yeah. You got it.
Okay.
So you bred an Elf-blooded Andalusian. I don't even know what that means, dude.
That's awesome. Is what it fucking means.
You have a magical Andalusian horse. Okay.
I was hoping for.
Adding that to the notes for next session. Magical and that's so sick. Finally, all of my horse breeding rules have paid off.
And that, with those two, that fills up my stables.
Yeah.
And the others just
Rightly so.
were like rouncies, I think.
Yeah.
Just riding horses.
Hell yeah. All right. Last training and practice. And glory.
Let's see.
I did check. Unfortunately, I didn't go. The Gurn doesn't go to 22. Once you hit 20, you have to. You're still rolling d20s instead of d6s for their improvement. So, sadly.
Aww.
Yeah. Lady Grade stays the same. For hers, which is the only one I'm tracking. Okay. Yeah, that's it for my household number improvement. There's a lot of traits I've been wanting to raise.
I am.
Which ones?
I've been wanting to raise just and prudent and some of my passions for a while. Like prudent is one of those that I'd like to raise a bit more, just so that the 9 doesn't get him in trouble later on. And just because it's
right.
Yeah, I think
that's good intel for me, because I can game some situations to have you be challenged on that front.
Gotcha. Yeah.
There's another part I think about the game that I wanted to talk about. Because it actually came up in a someone asked me for some Pendragon GMing advice about like a failed roll, and when it comes to traits. And I wanted to posit this to you all. You can choose when you do like your just event, or like let's do the example. Let's give a concrete example of what I mean. Let's talk about the time you were trying to give a lesson to your squire, Jim, right?
Yeah.
So this is for Caradig, right? And you wanted to pass trusting, and it was important to you that Caradig got the right lesson, right? When you test trusting and you fail, I think you could say something to the effect of, this is too important for me. And then what we could say is then you get the success, but then you check suspicious. Basically, like you get it temporarily now, but you know that like you didn't do it honestly, or like it just made you feel off in a way that like you don't trust yourself to do it anymore, or something like that. And it reflects that like you kind of like almost spend it on like your this trait on credit, and like then you have to pay for it by seeing if your debt goes up of the opposite thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see what you mean. It's just like the intentions aren't honest.
Yeah, and so I was thinking about that. So if that ever comes up sometimes, and you're like, hold on a second, I think it would be really cool. Obviously, like I think we're kind of the group that was like, I don't really care. I embrace the failure and I just let it mean what it means. But I'm just saying, if that's an option, you think that's there, the example that the person needed was something involving like chastity and like whether they'd be chaste and stuff. And it's like, what's really important, my character is chaste. I'm like, yeah, then you probably weren't seduced. So it's like, how do you, let's fix that, right? And that's one way of doing it, right? Where it's like just the sheer temptation of giving in felt like to yourself that you gave in despite saying no. And that is and that's the part that scares you, that you could have done it. And that means you need more work to do, which means you're not as chaste as you think you are.
The chaste example, right? The chaste example to me, like really sets it, because it is like you could be shook by, that it's like you had to push further, and what does that mean? And maybe the next time you're just a little lax.
Yeah, I don't think it's it's not the most perfect system, but I think it's interesting there as a way of like being basically counterbalancing it. And I probably wouldn't let you check that trait for the rest of the year, for trusting, because it's basically locked out because of the other one. I don't know, something like that, basically a way of narratively getting what you want, but paying the price of it by the other trade going up in a way. I don't know. Just something to consider.
Yeah, I can do it. Yeah.
All right. Colin, did you have any things that you wanted to mention for or like flag for a next session for like any kind of traits or goals or anything like that for when I'm doing prep? I can make sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Wasn't there talk of the Earl holding a tournament? I was suggesting it as a way for the Knights of Salisbury to blow off steam and help keep that kind of stuff. Because we're doing like the little tournaments.
Right. Yeah, so like we can that's a really good point. I'll have a scene about that because we can kind of assume that happened this year, but it wasn't like super eventful, and we kind of just moved on from it. But yes, that's absolutely like the way we do the justice. Like you pioneered this justice event through the power of the lands. But yeah, focusing on a tournament held by the Earl would actually be really fun.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, cool. Thank you. Perfect. All right. But no, like immediate personality trait stuff that you want to for challenges or anything. Okay, cool.
No.
Perfect. Works for me. Then do we calculate glory?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Training and practice and
you need your own personal Gwar to do the math.
Yeah. All right, so we got that. And
so I crossed 1,000 threshold.
Mazel tov.
Thank you. I'm going to push between that and training and practice. My loyalty to Lord is now 18. So it is finally caught up to my love of family.
Yeah, I think I'm going to cross.
Bravo.
As well, just a sec, because it's like spending. And then other annual. My annual took a hit when I dropped lustful. That's all right. Yeah, so I'm at 15,213.
15,200. All right. I'm only 1,200 behind you.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Feel me breathing down your neck.
Catching up.
Yeah.
All right. What am I going to do with that glory point? I'm going to put it in a stat, maybe.
Yeah. Shore up some of your aging rolls as insurance.
Yeah. Let's see. I think I'm going to put it in Dex. All right. Yeah, I'm shore up some of my aging. Awesome. I didn't realize you died if any one of your stats hit 0.
I didn't know why that either.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can, if your attractiveness hits 0, you become just too ugly to live.
That one's the stretch. That one's the one that's a bit of a stretch. I can see the others, but yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Let's see how long we can get one of these characters to live.
Yeah. Well, then this will conclude the session and the year. 524. So, schedule talk. Are we okay going forward through April? Yeah. Cool. Then looking forward for 525. I know we've been super touch and go, so thanks for hanging around, y'all, for our schedule right now. Cool. All right then.
Be back.
Yep. Good game then. Appreciate it. Like being back in the saddle.
Mm-hmm.
All right then. Then we're out of here.
All right.